Hey guys, welcome to the Rushdown review for Omega Quintet for the PS4. I'm really excited to do this review for this game because I've been waiting for quite a while to play this. And I love JRPGs in general, and I love playing just about every JRPG that comes out. And most recently, Idea Factory has been really changing their formula with how they do their games, going away from the ecchi and the lewd to more of a more clean, robust look to their video games, which I'm really excited about, especially with my review for Fairy Fencer F. So this made me really eager to play this, and I want to make sure that I gave enough time to play it all the way through and get a complete immersion of myself within this universe they've created for Omega Quintet. So without further ado, here is my review for Omega Quintet. Enjoy.
Blair. A phenomenon that suddenly appeared in this world over a century ago. Humans consumed by it had their minds corrupted in the blink of an eye. Other creatures were warped into fiendish monstrosities. Humankind took various countermeasures to fight off the Blair's growing influence, but none had any effect. In the face of the proliferating Blair, people continued to lose their homes and their lives. Now, the Blair have spread to cover nearly the entire world. The last humans have retreated to outlying cities to await their final days. However, in the midst of this immense despair, there remains an existence capable of granting people hope. Born by chance in exceedingly small numbers among the remaining humans, girls with the power to counter the Blair. The Verse Maidens.
And that's the basic storyline for Omega Quintet. I think the story is pretty good. I mean, it could be a lot better. It's a little weak, but still okay. I think that this game's main emphasis is not necessarily on a really dramatic, over-the-top story, but more so the characters that are in the story and how they react to certain things that happen in the game. The characters are not as, I wouldn't say, in-depth and deep as I would want them to be. They're very, very flat. That's probably one of my main gripes about the story for the game. It's not so much the story, but it's just how the characters in the story are very one-dimensional and flat. And they're not as intriguing as other games like Fairy Fencer F. So it's probably the only thing. Story's okay. Characters are really meh. Alright, so now we're going to talk about gameplay and mechanics. So this is me running around real quick, and we're about to get into a battle. When you're on the field, you get to actually use an attack to surprise your enemy, which will give you a tactical advantage against your enemy. Of course, like any other RPG, a preemptive strike, preemptive attack, whatever you want to call it. Now, you're given 5 characters, and each of these 5 characters have their own core skills and attacks and all of that jazz. Pretty much a lot of the same things you're used to in any other JRPG you've already played. You're able to build up all of their stats, all of their attacks. You get different magic. Pretty much anyone can get any attack, honestly, in this game. It's very similar to the skill tree in Final Fantasy X. Right now, I've just used harmonics, which allows me to have all of my attacks synchronized together, so we're able to do multitude of attacks consecutively in order to like kill the opponent. And when you're in harmonics mode, you're able to use a lot of the team up attacks that the characters have, and they're pretty much attacks that you have in the game combined together, and they allow you to chain them together to do these cool new ways that attacks can look. And they're much more powerful than regular standard might skills, which their regular attack skills are called. They're a lot stronger, and they allow you to utilize 2 characters at once. And I really like this feature because it's able to like clear boss fights really easily. It lets you clear enemies really quick too. What else is it? Oh yeah, there's actually a meter on the side called the voltage meter, which is a little thing bubbling at the side. Pretty much a voltage meter goes up every time I attack or get attacked. So it's like a gauge. You pretty much need that to do your really big super might skill attack. the game progresses as far as the actual like layout for the battles. You have turns, and they set them on the side on the right hand side, lets you know who's attacking next, and that'll be a good thing to know because it'll have different gauges and it'll have different bonuses for you for each point in the actual gauge. So it's good to know stuff like that. And there's like a plethora of different bonuses you get, like killing all the enemies at once, attacking all the enemies at once, using all your skills at once, all things like that. So there's so many different ways to kill the enemy, and there's different ways to level up in this game. Right here, it shows you the formation, which is really important because every character has a different range that they have, which makes their attacks much more proficient. So someone who's a gunner, they're probably better in the back. And of course, someone who uses a close range ranger is better close range. This right here is the affection bar. This pretty much tells you how much you like the male character in the game. He's not a playable character, he's more of a support character, but his part in the game is pretty significant because he does help advance the girls. This is all the quests you get in the game, and there's so many quests you get. You get main quests and you get other quests too. Right here are the main quests. These are all the ones that drive the story actually, but there are a lot of important quests in the game that you get in order to get the really good ending, which I want to talk about, because the good ending, you have to do a specific amount of quests that chain together to give you other quests in order to get the final ending. And they don't tell you exactly what these quests are. I had to go online and look for this, so I was a little upset about that. Right here is me pretty much going through all the different equipment that you can make, which you pretty much make all the things yourself. There are no item shops in this game. You make all of your own equipment, and you get that through EP points, which you get from battle, of course. And you have this other thing called Aurelium, which you use to create all your different equipment and suits and all things like that. You actually power up your suits because your suits do break in this game from getting attacked a lot. So you have to make sure you keep that, you know, under control at all times. Now right here, I'm actually in one of the dungeons, quote unquote, and I'm actually running around trying to do a couple of quests. And at this point right now, I'm trying to look for this item that is hidden. All the girls in the game are able to use a specific skill to progress through the game, able to get through different levels, get to higher places, things like that. Aria is able to find hidden items. Right now, her level is really low, so I can't get this item at this point. And there's so many other skills to this game, so there's so much content for this game that I didn't want to go through every single minute detail, but there's a lot to this game. Last but not least, you're able to actually create your own promotional videos for the girls, because of course these girls are idols, and they are our idol group, and just like any other game like Idol Master or Project Miku, you're able to make your own music videos. At first I thought this was a pretty novelty idea, and it has no bearing on the storyline. The only thing you do need to do one of these is to get us for a particular quest. But I did one and I got addicted, so now I enjoy making music videos because I feel like I'm part of like some type of K-pop group or J-pop group, and I really enjoy K-pop and J-pop, so this kind of spoke to me in that way. So this particular part of the game has no bearing on the actual like gameplay as far as progressing. This is just purely for your own entertainment, and it's really entertaining and fun to actually make these. So yeah, I had to make sure I put this in the review.
Wow! You did it, Otoha! You're awesome! Yippee! I did it properly again!
Alright, so I wanted you to get a sense of how the game sounds as far as the voice acting is concerned. The voice acting for this game is pretty good. I didn't really cringe at anything. Funny enough, the Japanese dub for this game, I didn't like at all. It was a little screechy, and it was really irritating, so I kept it on the English dub. The music for this game is so good. The battle theme for this game is probably on my top 10 list of best battle themes ever. Like, this game's battle theme is incredible. The music in general was really good, which I would expect for a game that's about music. They should have to have a really good soundtrack. Visually, the characters all look really great. I like the concept art. The character art for the game was really good. Some of the actual 3D models are okay, and some of the animation is okay. You can pretty much tell this was ported from PS3. These are definitely not PS4 graphics, even though in some portions of the actual combat sequences, as far as like their attacks are concerned, I can tell that the game is up to like 60 frames per second because it looks really cool and fluid. But I can still tell this is a PS3 game, a very gorgeous PS3 game, but a PS3 game nonetheless. So the graphics are a little womp, but overall the game is very pretty, and the presentation for this game is really excellent. So in conclusion, I really enjoyed myself in this game. The main problem I had with this game was, aside from the graphics being a little subpar, maybe a little story parts could have been a lot better, but I think the main gripe I had was the ending was kind of really upsetting, because the normal ending for this game is really bad. It's not an ending that I think does this game justice. In order to get the really good ending, you have to go through a lot of like lengths to get it, and there's no real way of telling you how to get the good ending. So that was really frustrating. I actually had to do a second playthrough in order to try to get the good ending. But yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe with this game. No matter what else that I had, that probably really, it bothered me in a very significant way. I think that it does the game a disservice to have an ending that you can't even get unless you go online and look for all the different quests and stuff. Because a lot of quests that you get that you need for this game, they don't tell you how to get them. So you're pretty much going blindly trying to get this good ending for this game. But overall, I enjoyed my experience with Omega Quintet. I'm really hopeful for hopefully a sequel, even like a new version for like PS4. I want to see more games from Idea Factory built from the ground up on PS4 platform and see what they can do with that. But my grade for this game will be a C+. It can improve a lot. The story was a little weak, and my problem with the way you get the ending really hurt the score for this game. But overall, the music is great, the action is really good. Really good game. So thanks for tuning in to my review. Subscribe, like, comment. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.